So here we are in Lightroom, and we've placed all of our whitewater canoeing shots in a collection set called Home Pier Point, and then all of them in a collection called All. So we're now at the stage we want to whittle these down from 897 down to the 30, 40, 50 we're going to keep. We're not after the actual image we're going to work up yet, just the images that we're going to keep. And maybe we're going to keep them, obviously we've got to keep them 40 or 50 to get the one we want, but I always keep more because you might want them in talks, or you might change your mind later on, or you might want to cut one part from an image, and if you're compositing, so on and so forth. So I would always expect to keep 40 or 50 from any shoot. So what we need to do is get down from 897 to about 40 or 50. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to look through the images, and then we're going to give them a colour tag. And so, as you can see here, the images are quite big on the screen, 3 across a row. You can actually make them bigger or smaller. Down here you can see this slider called thumbnails, make them really small, but at that point you can't make any sense of them. So I like to keep them as large as I can, and this is the benefit of having created the previews at 1:1. If you hadn't have created previews at 1:1 in the last step, or in the import step, sorry, then the resolution of these images on the screen would not be that great. Because remember, you're not actually looking at the real image, you're looking at a virtual copy. And Lightroom makes decisions as to the quality you want to see that copy. And you've made that decision when you tell it to build a preview. And so I tell it to build the highest quality preview it can, 1:1. It takes longer to download, or sorry, to load into the computer, but it's worth it when it comes to this stage. So we can make the screen even bigger by collapsing the 2 side menus by clicking that arrow. And can you see there's an arrow there? Collapse that. And now we've got 4 across. And it's just basically a case of going across, and if we see an image that we think has potential, then we need to mark it. And the way I mark it is I'll click on the image and then right click, set color label. And you can see we can set any color label between red, yellow, all the way down to purple. I use red, you can use what you want. And so anything that has potential, I go through and I'll hit right click, set color label, red. But as with all things, there's a shortcut for this. Now there's an image that hasn't obviously got any competition potential, but it's interesting. So I'm going to select that one. And the shortcut for the colour red is 6. So I just hit 6 on my keyboard. And I'm going down, and you have to have a good plan in your mind as to what constitutes a keeper. What are you keeping them for? So you need to know what your artistic intention is. So in my case, I'm just looking for competition images, or images that will illustrate a talk later on. And so I'm looking for either an image with good action in it, or an image where the canoeist is facing me and the paddle's in a good position, something I'll be able to work up. So I'm going through quite quickly, as you can see, and the minute I see one that I think I like, then, and as you can see there aren't many, I'm going to hit 6. I like that one, I like what the water's doing, so I hit 6. And so I go on. I keep going down and go through, as you see, really quite quickly. It's 4 images a row, so you get through them quite. I like that one because I just like what's happening. It won't be a competition image, but I like the action. And on we go, and we keep working our way down 4 rows at a time, and we can really go really quickly. But as I say, there's one I quite like. You have to know what your artistic intention is, otherwise you don't know what you want to save and what you don't. But I'm only looking for 40 or 50 photos tops, so it doesn't worry me. That one quite interests me. It doesn't worry me that I'm going through and I'm not selecting many, because I only want 40 or 50. That one's quite interesting. I know the paddle's obscuring his face, and on we go. And so I paused the recording whilst I went through all 897 and selected the ones that I liked. And I'm going to bring the side menus back in now just by doing that. So now what we want to do is get rid of all the photos that we don't think have got potential, i.e. all those photos that aren't labelled red. And the way we do that is that we go up here again and we say to Lightroom now, don't show me the red photos. So we switch that red off and all the red photos disappear. So all that's left are all those photos that had no colour assigned to them, i.e. the ones we don't think has potential. Then what we do, we select them all, control by clicking on the first one, Control A, and now we've got them all selected. And then we hit the command for Lightroom, which is to reject a photo, and it's X, just the X on the keyboard. And you'll see that what will happen is a little X has appeared in the corner of all of those photos. Okay. Now we go up to Photo, Delete Rejected Photos. And what it says is remove the 840 rejected photos from the current collection, and we could go remove. And what that would do is it would take them out of the current collection, but they would still be on your hard drive. And some people like to do that. Some people don't like to be totally decisive and get rid of them altogether. I'm not like that. If I've gone through them at this stage, I want to get rid of them off my hard drive. I don't want them cluttering up. So what I do is I will now go to right click on any photo, and it's go to folder in library. Okay, and what's happened, look, can you see it's gone back up to the actual folder that we set up. Well, Lightroom set up it by date, but it's on our hard drive in the place that we selected, my Lightroom photos, and it's taken us back to there. Now they're still all labelled with a cross. Now if I go Photo, Delete Rejected Photos, it'll come up and it'll say this. Do you want to delete the 847 rejected master photos from the disk, or just remove them from Lightroom? And this is where you have the choice. So I want to delete them from the disk completely. But if you want to just remove them from Lightroom, so you never saw them again in Lightroom, you'd hit remove. But I go delete from disk, and I do that, and now it's going to go away and it's going to delete those photos. And what it does is it takes a little while, because there's 800 odd of them to do. It'd probably take it about, might take it 5, 6, 7 minutes to do that, and you basically got to wait while it does it. But what it is actually doing, you do get a second chance, and this has happened to me a few times over the last couple of years. It moves them into your recycle bin, as all deletes do on a computer. So if you really do think you've made a mistake, then you can go to your recycle bin and get them back from there. But at this stage, it's deleting all those rejected photos from the hard drive. So I paused the video there so that it gave it time to delete the 800 and odd photos. I think it took it about 7 minutes to delete them. And so all we have left now, it's deleted them, and all we have left in the collection all are the 50 photos that we have labelled red. So these are the ones that we think have got some potential. So we've gone down from 890, I think it was, down to 50. And so we're ready to now move to the next stage, which is to pick the photo that we're going to choose to work up as a competition image.